See, I'm with you because I seen Avatar once, and to be honest with you, I mean, I remember the premise, but it's almost
Dances with
forgettable.
Wolves in Space. That's all it is.
It is. That's the best description of it.
It's Dances with Wolves in Space.
I'm only laughing because you're right.
Yeah. You go, you want to wipe out the indigenous species,
Right.
and the one guy learns to love them, and hey, guess what?
They're
We shouldn't wipe them out.
They're much better people than my own people.
Right.
And how many of us are familiar with Phase 4 that was announced yesterday?
I am. Yeah, I am. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of interesting.
I think it's very interesting. Hopefully, we have someone who's down there. I'm hoping that she can write up a report for us.
Did I even? We may have a point to even talk about some of that because I mentioned. Did I say? Yeah, any reaction to SDCC stuff? So we can talk about.
Oh yeah. Yes. I actually I managed to see a publicity reel today of the Marvel panel from yesterday, and oh my god, I so geeked out looking at it.
Wow.
Really did.
I got excited seeing Picard. I think I saw the.
Oh, does that not look great?
I saw the trailer like 6 or 7 times, and I was like,
we watched the longer one that was premiered at Comic-Con, and when it was over, actually when Data shows up, I bolted right up and I said, okay, now I'm interested.
Oh yeah, I jumped up and kicked my chair back. I was like,
trailer.
oh my god.
Data's in the trailer?
Yes, as is cool. 7 of 9.
Wait, Chuck, you didn't see it?
Not the latest trailer.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay, that's it. Hand over your geek card right now.
When did it come out?
2 seconds.
It came out yesterday.
Oh my!
Hey, I even posted
we
it
all
on
watched it. It's been on Facebook.
I posted it on our Topic is Trek chat because I was waiting for you
I don't pay attention to that. You know what? You and Clinton have been posting like nonstop for the last 48 hours on the Topic is Trek. I tuned that out. You're too noisy, and I've got places to go. And people, you're in church, Craig. I'm not responding to your Topic is Trek news stories.
Wait a minute. I'm a little insulted because I posted it there.
No, you and Clinton get into a go, and you're just like bing, 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 bing. I have had my phone on no disturb, no noise for the last 2 weeks because of the stuff like this that I got to get done at work.
I know. But listen to what I'm saying. I'm a little insulted because I posted it there specifically to see your reaction to it.
Yeah. And if you would, if it was important, no, Craig, it was lost in the noise. Your signal to noise ratio is way too low.
Here's the reaction I got. I ignored you, Craig.
Yeah, pretty much, because it was in with the other stuff.
Wait, go take 2 minutes and watch it before our show. You need to, please.
We're live right now. Everybody's catching this rant.
Well, it's okay. I'm sitting here, seriously, I was
like, a good rant.
I was like, okay, I know Chuck's a big TNG fan. I was waiting for your reaction. Nothing. Clinton finally wakes up from a nap and replies. I'm like, okay, somebody said something. Golly.
Well, I loved it.
I am behind on projects. I don't have time to be dancing with
not only seeing Data, but seeing 7 of 9 and the other stuff we didn't see in it that was equally exciting.
Yeah, we got a really good look at Picard's home again, which looks like it got rebuilt after the fire from Generations.
Post SDCC trailer.
Oh, he's looking at it now.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I should pipe the audio in here, but then we get
pop
arrested.
the audio. I want to hear it.
No, because then we get arrested. I miss my old comm badge, he says. Oh, data parts in a drawer. That's kind of gruesome.
Or is that B4?
Could have been B4.
Or B after.
Well.
Do you know who I am? Everything inside of me says that I'm safe with you.
Admiral, I have encountered a woman. She came to me for help.
This almost looks like a movie trailer.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, the quality is.
It's outstanding.
And this is still I mean, they worked hard on this trailer.
Mm-hmm. They wanted it ready for the con.
Do not. You can't do it alone.
Oh, the Vasquez Rocks.
Yes.
How original.
I noticed that too. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was deliberate.
She has no idea what she truly is.
It looks like they have some elves. Borg Cube.
What the hell are you doing out here, Picard? Saving the galaxy.
Well, it's Jerry Ryan anyway.
Yes, it is 7.
Don't want the game to end. I can see that, Captain.
Whoa, they make up Brent pretty good.
Yes, they did.
Wow, he had some putty filling in the cracks.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I thought it looked like one of those deep fake,
Like the
you know,
CGI
kind of
things.
Yeah.
Well, there might have been a little bit of CGI there in
But hey,
post.
All right, I'm gonna
It
show
would look
you.
great. I thought it looked great though.
I was thoroughly impressed
Mm-hmm.
with,
How come I don't
with the whole
see our-
concept.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Technorama podcast should be doing a video right now.
Oh, Technorama podcast. Let me share the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the one person I was wanting to get a rise out of from this, and you ignored me. Wow.
I'm telling you, man, it was lost in the noise. If you guys wouldn't be talking 24 hours a day, I might actually pay attention to something.
Well, it's not like I do 2 podcasts with you. I mean, there's plenty of reason to be pinging you. So you share post.
Share
post.
as me.
Oh yeah, I need to change to me. Share. Children, gather around the fire.
Gather around the radio. Tune in your crystal radio.
There we go.
Okay. And then
Yeah, it's funny how many people come up to me and go, "Hey, I watched you on Facebook."
I had a dream a couple nights ago that I was walking through an airport or a convention or something, and there were lots of people around. And somebody was watching one of our Technorama podcasts on their iPad.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it was weird because, you don't really see or hear yourself out in the wild. And I walked up behind them and I said, well, that voice sounds familiar.
Hey,
and they both turned around and went, wait, which one are you?
Oh. Was that a dream or a nightmare?
It's like, you can't tell Craig from me, and you're watching a video. This is just totally wrong.
That's a nightmare. Let's be real.
In your dream, you should have boo. Actually, years ago, not long after we've been podcasting, I was in an elevator at work, and somebody was listening to Technorama. On their iPod.
Why can't something like that happen to me? I would love that.
You guys have way more listeners than we do.
No kidding.
Well, we've discovered that the majority of our fans are actually outside of the Phoenix area.
They're quiet.
And they're very quiet. A lot of them are international, and they're very quiet. But they're loyal.
They're all Russian.
Do you have a few Russians? Yes.
They're all Russian bots.
Oh, God. Please, no.
Yeah.
We actually had to kill an article on our website because we were being besieged by Russian bots on it.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we begin? I think I got the audio
Ben,
level.
if I had a dime for every time that's happened.
What? Russian bots?
Yeah. Just kidding.
Let's check this one more time. Okay. All right. No Brian, no Keith. We got Ben.
Yeah, Keith's in DC.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
Oh, thank you.
The show is complete.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Good night.
We have a few viewers hanging out with us. Thank you. And we're going 5, 4, 3. Technorama episode 571. The check is in the mail. Or the bees are busy. I take it we're hanging on to that Bullwinkle thing. Yes, still, aren't we?
I'm gonna hang on to it and see how long I can go with it.
You're going to have to come up with 2 titles every show now.
I know. I was thinking about that. You know what? I'm up to the challenge. I'm gonna do it for a little while.
But you didn't quite say it right. It's got to have that William Cannon kind of,
Yeah, I know.
kind of sound to it.
What should we have done?
Oh, I can't imitate him. The check is in the mail, or the bees are busy.
Or we're going to have it at the end. Tune in next time for...
Right.
Actually, that's what I was thinking. I was going to put it at the end of the show for I'd go ahead and make the title for the next show. And then I thought, but we end it with 101, and I don't know how that's going to work. So,
and the thing is, of course, the title that goes at the end has to have absolutely nothing to do with whatever you're going to cover next time. It's got to be completely
the title
irrelevant.
we have at the beginning of the show has nothing to do with what's in the show.
Oh, okay.
That one happened years ago.
The wax is hot, or the water is wet.
My God, that sounds like spy code.
The wind rises in the east,
but the ice is slippery.
The yellow one-eyed Jack smiles distinctly. Welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek, which includes spycraft. If this is your first time joining us, thank you very much. My name is Chuck Tomasi. If you're if you're returning, welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, and joining me right across the virtual table is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm having a great time so far.
You need to lower your camera a little bit.
You've been decapitated.
With the lower thirds, you look like a Kilroy kind of thing. There you go.
Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
Right. It looks even from my side, but I guess it's not.
And the third voice joining us, who may sound familiar, is none other than...
from many years past, Ben Ragunton from the Two Gay Geeks.
Here we go. Boop. There.
Thank you.
The other gay geek is on business travel.
He's in D.C. today.
His loss. Maybe he's streaming.
Is he lobbying again? Is he lobbying?
Lobbying for more podcast dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did
Good
you
luck
guess?
with that. Thank you for joining us, Ben.
My pleasure.
He's actually really here in the flesh, ready to go.
For the first time in months.
It has been a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
We thought about it at the pool party in June, but that didn't happen.
Never happened.
We always get tied up. Well, we got a little carried away with karaoke. Maybe it was
You know what?
Karaoke away.
However long we do the podcast, every time we'll go, yeah, we're going to do a show during the pool party.
Never happens.
Never happens. We had microphones and a mixer, but we got close this year. I guess we could say we had given a noble effort.
Sort of.
We just sang a lot. All right, shall we do our feedback? We had a question of the week last week. Letters.
Oh, we get letters.
We got some letters. Say, didn't we get a letter from Mike Wills or somebody last week?
Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters. I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Mail today.
Craig, didn't we have a follow-up that we missed last week that we said we'd get in this week?
I thought so, but I looked for it. I cannot find it. I'm gonna look for it while we're talking. So
Okay. Well, I will get us started. We had a question last week. What NASA/space mission stands out in your mind? I confirmed with my older brothers and sisters that, yes, we really did watch the moon landing, but it escapes my memory. I was just under that threshold where I could retain memories like that. So I think I was about 4 and change. But
I do remember it.
You do remember.
I remember I was sitting in the living room.
What were your emotions at the time?
Wonder. Pure wonder. Thinking, is this real?
That people are really on the moon?
I was of two thoughts. The first one is this, wow, we're on another world. And then the second thought is, this frequency is crap.
It was interesting because the guy who was in charge of the video and the transmissions was really disappointed because it was a lot grainier.
It was very grainy.
Than they
it
expected.
made it hard to see.
It did. And he was disappointed, but then everybody said, chill out, dude. This is coming from the moon.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I think it was something like I made some comment, and it's like my stepdad, who was a scientist, said, "This is coming from the moon. You can, never mind."
Cut him some slack.
Yeah,
no one's done this before.
There's no such thing as high def.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi is a little sucky. Actually, you know what? But right before we got on this call for the show tonight, I actually watched the ABC coverage. It was on Hulu. I just happened to see it right on the front page. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. And I watched. There was two things that I thought was funny. Was one, they showed their here's what we think's going to happen, or what's expected to happen, and they had the little animation, but it wasn't an animation. It was like a model, and it had like a little not fake, but like a little tiny flame coming out the bottom of the lander,
like a Buck Rogers kind of thing, or
they were using models.
Flash Gordon.
Yes, they were using little models and everything. I mean, it looked very obviously modelly, and anyway, so
modelly.
I thought that it's a verb. And I thought it was funny.
It's a verb.
But then they showed the video, which in itself is just fascinating. They're like, radio check, all right, because they haven't been talking for a little while, and they check the radio's okay, and you see them walking around, but the technology of the cameras are so old that there's a little ghosting. So when they walk in front of the camera, you can kind of still see the limb and stuff behind them.
Yes.
But it's fascinating to watch at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a baseball game last night, Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Scott Tyler and his wife Ann are Milwaukee fans, so they offered that we could go with them. And they had at the little door, they give you a little gift.
Sometimes.
This time it was the Arizona Diamondbacks player Nick Ahmed on the moon bobblehead. So I haven't opened it up yet, so we are opening this up, and this is this is pretty hefty. I didn't think it would be that. They put him in a bag. He's going to suffocate. And then they put the helmet on him.
Is it turning blue? Hey, you need to keep that bag on and paint his face blue.
That's because his helmet doesn't fit his head.
I hope it doesn't fly off while he's out in space.
There's no air seal.
And they got his number on the back. And then I love this. There's a little Raytheon at the base. Because Raytheon helped put man on the moon.
Raytheon?
It protects him from the raisin thing.
The company.
Ba-dum-bum. Very good.
Raytheon and things. So yes, this is more fun in the studio. We have astronaut stuff. But
by the way, I do have. I found the feedback.
You found the feedback?
Oh wait, let's do this one. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll go down your Facebook. So Mike Wills chimed in on episode 568. We talked about the electric car noise.
Yes.
We were talking about
if they go slower than 12 miles an hour, they have to come up with a noise so pedestrians don't get hit by the silent carcass. Electric cars and hybrids
can't hear them.
They're very quiet. Yeah, I almost hit somebody.
I mean, even our own car, which is a fuel car, is very quiet, and no one hears it when we pull up. So yeah, it's a good idea.
All right, so this is what Mike Will said. this is a little obvious, but he says, "I can't believe you guys missed this softball throw on this. What noise should they make an electric car, or what car should an electric car make? Remember the Jetsons?
Somebody else said they should put cards in the spokes, like bicycle wheels.
I like the Jetsons idea.
I'd do it. I'd do it.
I would be down for that.
Put a speaker.
What the hell was that? People would fall over.
Getting back
to... the sound of Flintstone feet.
Yeah. Yeah, like the xylophone.
Yeah. There you go. That's it.
I didn't think you're going to have it because Keith wasn't there.
I don't think he has that sound.
The cartoon.
I thought he played it all the time.
That's more of a Scooby-Doo thing, though.
Yeah.
But I guess Hanna-Barbera was a bit generic sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Getting back to our NASA question. We started this topic a few minutes ago. Steve Vanderwine had said Challenger. I do remember the Challenger because I was home. I'm trying to remember which event this was. It was either the Challenger or Reagan getting shot. But I was homesick, and I woke up to the news about an hour later and went, what? What happened now?
When Reagan got shot, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. The Challenger, I was taking an exam at the moment. When I came home, I went, what? What happened now? Gary Lindros says this might be the right day for a variety of answers after Apollo 11 and 13. The one that sticks in my mind the most is STS-125, the final Hubble servicing mission. Prior to launch, they had STS-125 and STS-400 both out on the launch pad. 400? There weren't 400 space shuttle missions, but we'll work on that.
Okay.
To see both shuttles ready to launch and in person at KSC was both an awesome and sad sight to know it would never happen again.
No, so he it sounds like he actually witnessed that.
Curtly S. Dason says, all the moon landings. I remember in grade school, some of the later moon landings, and even Skylab, they would wheel in the TV cart.
Oh, yes.
So the students could watch.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, STS-400 was the Space Shuttle Contingency Support flight that would have launched if Endeavour had a major problem.
Oh, okay. Weber Baker says, I was very young, but still remember the excitement of Alan Shepard's first launch, but then I was born just slightly BS before Sputnik. Steve Gingrass remembers Challenger because it was on his birthday. That's a nice birthday present. But Apollo 8 doesn't get enough recognition.
I remember Apollo 8. That was the very first space mission I ever got to watch on telly.
I always thought the guys from Apollo 10 were underrated because they went to the moon. They did everything but land. They were the mission that said, hey, we can get there. We docked, we undocked, we did everything except send somebody down and walk on the moon. That's pretty underrated. Patty says, Challenger, Columbia, 16 minutes from home. Steve Asplund, Columbia. Oh, Space Shuttle Columbia when it was broken up in the atmosphere. I do remember that one. I think we were on a ski trip when that happened.
Oh, we were home when that happened. That was really tragic.
Michael Slobodnik says, Alan B. Shepard, first American into space with the flight time of 15 minutes, 22 seconds. I don't think Michael's old enough to remember that. He's younger than me.
Sorry, don't pass judgment. It's all good.
Sarah says, I had the TV on in the background while I was crafting and heard that they lost contact with the shuttle when it was coming into Texas. Oh, so awful. The Apollo Soyuz mission, I remember that. That was on TV. Too. The big link-up handshake in space. You wondered if cool. The American docking ring was the same as the Russian docking ring, and did they need some sort of adapter? How is that going to work?
This air didn't go out.
Rob Weiss says, Crippen and Young on STS-1. Remember when the first shuttle came in for a landing?
Yes.
That was the moment. I was so enthralled with the shuttle. That was the moment that not just the launching, but the landing, watching it come in, waiting to see if it comes down and touches down right. That was all very exciting.
That landing gear looked awful tiny for the big ship.
It did, and and they keep talking about how it's going Mach 6 or whatever. I forget the speed.
Like several sonic booms on the way in. Brian Parker says, Endeavour missions STS-67. I got to see the launch at Kennedy Space Center, and being at night made it spectacular. A night launch would be really cool. I would love to see that. That would have been cool. My older sister Suzette says Apollo 11. So she was there. I clarified it with the rest of them on text today. I said, were we there? Where were we? And they said, oh, we were at the Jenner's camp out on Little Lake. And if you say so. I probably had to go to bed early or something. Paul Parkins says 11 and 13 and all the obvious reasons. And let's not forget Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee, the crew of Apollo 1.
Oh, God, that was so awful.
Yes. Clinton says Skylab seems like just a blip in the history of space research, a footnote. That was really the precursor to the ISS.
I remember a lot of people wondering where it was going to land.
Australia. And Saturday Night Live had a sketch on it with the tin can matching into the globe.
Kids and stuff. We're all going, hey, it's going to land in your house.
I had a friend of mine who he was an adult, but he worked for the lab, and he was part of some sort of top secret program, and told me that he might have to, bog off in the event that the shuttle landed, or
chunks of it fell on his house.
Not shuttle, but oh shoot,
Skylab
landed someplace in a contested area. Then he would have to dash off.
Oh, okay,
and be a part of that.
Well, let's not forget about another mission more recently, Cassini crashing into Saturn.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's a special on PBS.
That didn't endanger anybody's home.
No.
I don't think so.
But there is a special on PBS.
That we know of.
On Netflix. Look for Cassini on Netflix right now.
I have it marked to watch later.
I got about 10 minutes into it.
Yep.
The
Cassini probe. On Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yeah. What was it called? The Death Dive or the...
Something like that.
Yeah. You'll see it.
It's very interesting. It looks very interesting. Good animation, too.
All right. That takes care of our feedback. Thank you very much. We'll have another question for you.
I want to share one moment.
Okay.
So I know that Mark Ryan had mentioned Columbia explosion. That was another big,
we mentioned that one
event. Well, I was just thinking, my my wife's grandmother was living with us, and Harrison was about a year old, and I'm sitting there playing with him in front of the TV, and I forget what I was watching, but she comes out and says, she had Alzheimer's, so please forgive me for a moment, but she was started talking about the shuttle exploding. I was like, okay, and
Grandma, that was several years ago.
It was on yeah, but she was trying to tell me that it was happening now. I was like,
did you not believe her?
When I turned the channel and I was like, whoa, and it's just, I didn't expect this. I didn't know. It just didn't sound right. I think the way she was explaining.
Well, and the Challenger was a wake up to our generation who may not have remembered Apollo 1 that space travel is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
It became routine. People weren't watching. Not a whole lot of viewers saw the Challenger explosion.
Well, they even had that complacency with with space missions, because they were.
Yeah, it was.
And they say the people were less and less interested in it after we walked on the moon, the big apex. Right.
Yep.
Which is sad, because I hate that ratings are the barometer for mission taking.
I tell you. All right. Well, you got to have the public interest if you want to get the public's money. That's it for this time. We'll have another question for you at the end of the show.
Hey, is that like your advice to podcasting?
What's that? That's it for this time?
No,
or if you want the public's interest, if you want the public's money, you got to have the public interest?
Yeah. Is that like the footnote of the Podcasting for Dummies?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right.
We don't talk about monetization in that book. Let's do history. We do the history thing here. Oh, we didn't roll.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Yeah, we didn't roll. We have a guest.
And before we started, look what's in my hand. Look what's in my hand.
He's got his die at the ready.
Yes.
See, enough shaming and it can be yours. Oi.
All right.
I think it's 6.
Or 9.
Well, that's just it. I'm not sure, because it doesn't let you know.
Me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
And what did you get,
Craig? 6. I got 11.
Okay. Goes Craig, Ben, Chuck. I got a 5.
Finally my dice paid off.
If you have it ready, yeah. Also, the show goes quicker. Okay, back where we were. You ready to start, Craig?
Sure.
All right. On this day in history, this is the 205th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 160 days remaining in 2019.
It was on this date in 1534 that French explorer Jacques Cartier was plants a cross on the... Shut up.
Wait, there's better ones coming.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Plants a cross on the Gaspe Peninsula and takes possession of the territory in the name of Francis I of France.
I like that, Francis. I don't even know where they are at this point.
Fine. It's Cartier. Thank you very much.
Cartier. Yeah,
also on July 24th, 1701, Antoine de la Motte Cadillac founds the trading post at Fort Pontchartrain, which later becomes the city of Detroit.
Hey, man,
that's
brother.
Totally Cadillac, not Cadillac.
In France is Cadillac.
France. It's France.
Oui, oui. Oui, oui.
July 24th, 1847, after 17 months of travel, Brigham Young leads 148 Mormon pioneers into Salt Lake Valley, resulting in the establishment of, you guessed it, Park Fun. No, it's Salt Lake City.
And that is celebrated every year as Pioneer Day.
Let's go to this place with a stinky, salty lake.
That same date in 1847, Richard March Hoe, American inventor, patented the rotary type printing press.
I thought he invented the hoe.
I thought he invented the gardening tool.
The rake.
Right.
Yes.
The shovel.
The same date in 1847. Oh, that's yours. I'm sorry. 84 years ago today, the Dust Bowl heat wave reaches its peak, setting temperatures to 109 Fahrenheit or 43 degrees Celsius in Chicago and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius in Milwaukee.
That's pretty darn warm for those areas. Also on July 24th, 1950, Cape Canaveral Air Force Station begins operations with the launch of a bumper rocket. They had to have the bumpers on for safety in case it ran into anything.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast. It was on this date in 1966 that Michael Pelkey makes the first base jump from El Capitan along with Brian Schubert. Both came out with broken bones. Base jumping has now been banned from El Capitan.
They ruined it for everyone.
I know it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. The same date in 1969, Apollo 11 splashes down safely in the Pacific Ocean.
Hooray! Happy birthday goes out of this date to French mathematician and explorer Joseph Nicolet. Born on this date in 1786.
And Polish-German mathematician and theorist Friedrich Schottky was born 168 years ago today.
Actually, it's Friedrich.
Let's go with it.
French mathematician and academic Émile Picard, born on this date in 1856.
That Émile Picard?
Yes.
He's going to be on the show, by the way.
Amelia Earhart, the American pilot and author, was born 122 years ago today.
And Kenneth S. Kleinkentek.
That was clanky, all right.
Kleinkentek. I don't know. NASA manager was born on the same date in 1919.
I
feel like the drive shaft just dropped
out. Also turning 87 today is German astronomer and academic Gustav Andreas Tammann.
I think it's Andreas.
Andreas? Yes, Andreas, yes.
American actress and comedian Ruth Buzzy is 83 today.
And American actor Mark Goddard is born on this date in 1936.
Quick, Ben.
Don West.
Thank you.
Canadian-American astrophysicist and astronomer Hugh Ross is 74 today.
Also born that same day in 1946, American comedian and actor Gallagher.
Where's a watermelon?
Uh-huh.
No. Also turning 68 today is American actress Linda Carter.
Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. American actress, singer, and dancer Jennifer Lopez is 50 today.
J-Lo is 50. Wow. Also turning 38 today is American actress Summer Glau. That's all the birthdays we have for the celebrities, but we have our own celebrities. Our listeners, Aaron Heath from Adelaide, Australia. I somehow missed the number.
Here you go. How about that?
22nd? No, because this show is on the 24th. It's either the 24th or 25th or 26th.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll celebrate on the 27th. It'll be observed. Wife of Will the Computer Guy is on the 27th. Sean Farrell, host of the Adventures of Sci-Fi Publishing podcast, is on the 29th. And Zaphod Beeblebrox, a.k.a. Brian Hunt, is on the 30th.
Again?
What do you mean, again?
We just had Zaphod on the...
No, we had Zaha Doom. You're mixing them up.
Oh, maybe that was Zaphod's other head.
His heads were born at the same time?
No, he acquired a second one. Don't you remember?
I think we're going to wrap that up. If you want to get on the birthday calendar, you can visit us over on our wiki at chuckchat.com/wiki. Add your name or your wife's name or whatever you want to celebrate. We'll give you a shout out here for every time of year. Your goldfish that died 15 years ago. Sure, why not?
Yeah, memorializing.
That's the way it was on this day in history for July 24th, 2019. You know what? I don't think this is the end.
Well, no,
maybe
it
is. Yes, it is.
Fade away.
Yep,
there
that's
it is. We just want to play this one out. It's worth it. I want to play this in the Dragon Con parade now. I recorded an album full of marches today. I was transferring from vinyl to digital as I'm slowly making my way through the collection, and I pulled out a random one and said, Macho Marches. This ought to be interesting. It had the Anchors Away on there. It had a couple of them that you'd recognize, but most of them were like, oh, whatever.
Hey, by the way,
yes.
This is interesting. You know, we were talking about, of course, about the space stuff, and we're talking about the Challenger. Robert Holder, I went to high school with him. He says, I think me and Craig were in the same class when Challenger exploded. I think that's probably, I think he's right.
Like the same teacher and everything?
Yeah, where they rolled in the TV thing, you know,
they always rolled in the TV cart.
Yeah, they rolled in the cart, and we were watching it, and it exploded. Yeah.
That was their idea of multimedia at the time.
Do what?
That was their idea of multimedia at the time.
Yeah, a cart with a big VHS recorder on it.
I didn't care what they were showing. It just meant no schoolwork.
Right. It was, hey,
Wow.
Not when they brought him the film projectors.
No,
like, I didn't care.
no math or English or whatever we were supposed to be doing didn't
Oh,
happen.
film strips. Cool.
It didn't matter.
Film strips.
Do they still make film strips?
Oh, we had
What
plenty of
happened
those
to
when
film
I
strip
was when I was in school.
Then they
Lots
came
of
up
them.
with the
Remember
ones
the
that were
store-
automated because they would advance with this inaudible tone.
We never had those.
Hey, I remember those stores where we went and rented film strips.
No, Craig.
Rented film strips?
It was before Blockbuster.
You're making
was a
that
thing.
up.
Hey, oh by the way, I got something else to share with you.
How many times did we have "Oh, by the way" from Craig?
Oh, by the way, hey. So what's
We're gonna
funny
rename
is
this
I
podcast
mentioned-
"Oh, by the way."
Oh, that's another.
I mentioned
That's the
that-
second title for this episode.
I mentioned my friend Mike. His family had a video store, and I did some stuff. We used to hang out there. I've mentioned this millions of times on the podcast. Well, the name of the store was Family Video, and what was funny was I was watching. We were finishing up Stranger Things, and they go into a video store, and sure enough, it says Family Video on the outside. I was like, "Whoa!" It just tripped me out for a minute.
We're gonna talk about that show later in the show.
But anyway,
hang on to your
anyway, it
Stranger
just
Things.
freaked me out. Anyway, all right, fine.
In the news,
Good news, anyone?
physicists have reversed time on the smallest scale by using a quantum computer. This is a rather long article, so I'm not going to read the whole thing to you.
No,
but
please
it basically says that we've reached the limit of what we can do with classical computing and with quantum computing. Because I like the analogy they have here. It says if you had billiard balls on a table, if you take the Newtonian physics laws of motion, right? Let me see if I can find it in here. I'm gonna have to. The second law of thermodynamics is less hard rule and more of a guiding principle for the universe. It says hot things get colder over time as energy transforms and spreads out from areas where it's most intense. It's a principle that explains why your coffee won't stay hot in a cold room, why it's easier to scramble an egg than unscramble it, and why nobody will ever let you patent a perpetual motion machine.
And that's the heart of the second law of thermodynamics is the heart of entropy.
Yes. It's also the closest we can get to the rule that tells us why we can't remember what we had for dinner last night, if you're good at it, but have no memory of next Christmas. Quote, the law is closely related to the notion of the arrow of time that posits the one-way direction of time from the past to the future, says quantum physicist Gordy Lesevic from the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology. Virtually every other rule in physics can be flipped and still make sense. For example, you can zoom in on a game of pool, and a single collision between any two balls won't look weird if you happen to see it in reverse. On the other hand, if you watch the balls rolling out of the pockets and reform into the starting pyramid, I would call it a triangle, it would be a sobering experience. That's the second law at work for you. What they did is they took this pool thing and said, we can actually take electrons because they're not, these orbiting things that we always picture them as going around the nucleus. They're sort of everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and we can either know the velocity or the position, but not both at the same time. And they've taken the algorithm and put it into a quantum computer, and we're actually able to reverse or bend time a little bit for this. I thought, well, that's an interesting hack. Again, rather long article. If you want to go and read it, you can find out more. It's based on Schrodinger's equation. So they were able to...
I got hung up on the trying to unscramble an egg. I was like, never thought about that before.
This one I had to read the entire thing through because I wanted to see if I could make it. And this is one of the more understandable quantum mechanics articles that I've read. So I highly recommend it. I can understand it.
Okay, I was kidding about the unscrambled egg part. But yes, I did read this too, and it was a little hard to get your head wrapped around a little bit.
Well, that's quantum physics and quantum mechanics anyway.
Yeah.
It's just
weird. That's why I'm a podcaster, not a quantum physicist.
What does it mean when you get to be a programmer for a quantum computer? You have to have everything done at once, but none at the same time? Or I'm not sure what that leads to.
There's
a joke in there somewhere, and I'm not finding it.
Type your code out blindfolded.
All right, I want to make sure I don't play this video. Oh, okay, good.
You need to learn how to mute your sites.
Yeah. I tried that, and then I got blocked at work because the ad blocker stopped everything. Now,
Ad block. Just unmute site.
I actually started watching the video on this. The title is NASA's Hubble telescope detects supermassive black hole that defies theoretical models. But there's a video at the top about the jellyfish galaxy that I thought was more interesting.
That's the thing about these kind of news articles. That you go and the video starts, and I'm like, oh, it's something related to what I'm trying to read.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with the article.
Yeah.
Craig, you want this one?
Sure, why
not?
Black hole.
Supermassive black hole. What's weird with it?
What's weird with it?
Why is it not behaving like other supermassive black holes they expect?
So NASA's Hubble telescope recently discovered a supermassive black hole that defies existing theories. The black hole, which is about 250 miles or 50 million miles, excuse me.
No, 50 million times.
Pardon me, I'm trying to correct myself.
Go slower.
Go slower. Heavier. Huh?
Go slower. It's easier.
You're messing me up. All right, so 250 million times heavier than the sun, lies at the heart of the spiral galaxy NGC 3147. Do you know where that's at?
No. That sounds like the license plate of the guy at church.
Yeah, that's right. They pulled him over. Anyway, and is 140 million light years from Earth. So spotted around the black hole was a thin accretion disk. Accretion disk.
It's like that stuff you put in your hair to get the gray away.
Accretion
formula.
Accretion formula?
Yeah, that's right. Containing debris and gas rapidly pacing around the edge, according to findings published Thursday in the Journal of Monthly Notices of Royal Astronomy Society. The black hole was unusual in that its gravitational pull was not capturing the disk of material, which was moving at 10% the speed of light.
That's still pretty fast. 10% the speed of light.
Yeah, I was thinking.
But it was not bringing it in, so it's like the accretion disk was outside the event horizon.
Right, or maybe there was an area where it wasn't affected as much. I don't know. Maybe just waves or gravity. I don't know, something not the same. Anyway, so lead author Stefano Bianchi. No, anyway. So thanks for helping, guys. Now you don't jump in.
No, we're just going to let you.
We're just flapping the wind.
We're just going to sit here and watch you sink.
Bianca. That's the stuff you spray in your mouth, right? It's the same type of disc.
Nice recovery.
In objects that are 1,000 or 100,000 times more luminous. So the predictions of the current models of our gas dynamics in this faint and very faint active galaxies clearly failed. Clearly. So anyway, there you go. So there's a disk of garbage that's kind of stuck around there.
Still a lot of stuff out there that mystifies us.
Mm.
Yeah, especially, which is it's moving slower at 10% the speed of light.
And if you thought quantum computing was confusing before, this is the...
then I'm helping.
God.
That's an interesting graphic, isn't it? It looks like gears turning gears.
What is that supposed to represent?
I don't know what that picture is. Don't you want to put that up there?
No, if you stare at it,
it's the one that has that stripy thing. Is it computer generated? Is it mirrors? Is it a kaleidoscope?
I
don't know what that is.
Well, the website's called Tweaktown, so if you're on drugs, I'm sure it helps out.
Just like Pink Floyd.
Your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you're saying.
What?
Oh, that's good. Very good. Nice. I caught that. Are you feeling a little comfortably numb?
Yes.
Yes. The holy grail of computer science can be found in quantum computing.
Wait, this is
Ben, you want this one?
I suppose.
I can't make the font bigger.
That's going to be tough to read, but I'll give it my best shot. A recent discovery has come out of the Faculty of Physics, University of Warsaw.
I just love that name.
I know.
Yeah, Faculty of Physics.
I know, that's really unusual. And University of Oxford regarding quantum computation and how it is much faster than the standard methods we are using today. Please scroll up. According to the scientists from the mentioned universities, the discovery has been deemed the holy grail of computer science and will unlock more faster and more accurate data processing. The studies suggest that with this now newfound knowledge, quantum technologies could boost applications such as medical diagnostics, robotics, artificial intelligence, and much more. Since the 1970s, we have been using the fast Fourier transform algorithm, otherwise known as FFT. This algorithm makes it possible to efficiently compress and transmit data, store pictures, broadcast digital TV, and talk over our phones.
We've been using the same technology since 1970.
Yes. While this algorithm is widely used, it still has limited capabilities. The answer to these limitations has now been found in the power of quantum mechanics, with what has been called the quantum Fourier transform, or QFT. Phys.org has described the QFT as the quantum computer simultaneously processes all possible values, so-called superpositions, of input data, the number of operations decreases considerably.
Here come the names.
Yeah, oh boy. Okay, hold on. The article has been published in Science Advances by Dr. Magdalena Stobinska and Dr. Adam Buraczewski. Oh boy.
I think it's Burachevsky.
Actually, that'd be that. Yeah, Burachevsky.
I was going to say the same thing.
I have a lot of Polish friends in Wisconsin.
Yes. Scientists from the University of Oxford, in the article, they describe what is known as the Kravchuk transform, which is similar to the FFT. But the Kravchuk transform uses functions to decompose the input sequences into the spectrum. Stobinska and Burachevsky describe this as the form of information processing can be achieved in one simple step with a quantum gate.
You get in, you don't. You get in, you don't. This stuff is mind-bending.
That's very heady.
More quantum stuff, not to mention the names.
Yeah, right.
Quantum names.
Quantum names, all possibilities of every name, all at the same time.
Oh, that's a heart of gold.
Until you observe them,
and then they disappear.
Then you've affected the outcome. All right, we are going to take a quick break. It's been 37 minutes into the show, and we will.
I've got hurty brain already,
and that's just the news. We'll be right back.
For joining us here at Channel 42 News. As we start off with each broadcast, let's first go to Chuck and take a look at our internet traffic report.
Thanks, Greg. The old C3 is humming along nicely with uploads and downloads moving well in both directions. You can expect some delays on the T1 between the Netgear bypass and the D-Link interchange. Traffic is only moving along at 10 to 15 kbps, so give yourself some extra time for that download. Looking at the Cisco Freeway, traffic is moving smoothly between the 6500 and the 3548, but starts to slow down where the old Linksys Highway was taken over a few months ago. If you plan on going wireless, I suggest an alternate router since the default gateway is blocked due to a denial of service attack earlier this morning. Loop codes don't have much to go on, but witnesses report a man wearing a subnet mask. You should be able to get in around 422 without a problem. That's your internet traffic report. Now back to Technorama.
Hey, this is Colin Burton, Sci-Fi Theory Guy with Jeffrey Dax, Carter, and now back to Chuck and Greg on Technorama.
That internet traffic report still kind of works.
A man wearing a subnet mask. That makes me laugh.
That's one.
Actually, there were lots of things make me laugh, but that was pretty good.
Let's thank our patrons because they need thanking too. We have a new patron as well, so thank you very much. This show is brought to you by you. You help offset the costs of bandwidth and software and hardware and everything that makes this podcast go, except the humor. Nobody really pays for that.
That's for free.
We throw that in at no additional charge.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kyle Nishioka, Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Mike Wills, Megapodtastic. Thank you, Night Gig Studios, Gary Lindros, John Clifford, and Leon.
Wait. That Leon?
That Leon. And John Noble.
John Noble?
Our John Noble. Oh. Yes, that John Noble. We should check if he's going to be at Dragon Con. I really want an audio bite with that guy.
Yeah.
That John Noble?
I'm that John Noble.
This is John Noble. Chris MC, Alexis Duran, Saturday Morning Media, Steve Therian, Yorga Schrawen, thank you very much. I kind of slipped on that. Yorga Schrawen. John Miller Jr., that John Miller Jr., Amber Elstad, Harold McKinstry, Amy Bowen, Denise Inglis, Stephen Weshy. Thank you. Dean Jensen, Dandy Man, NCAF1, and our newest latest, greatest one to start a new row in the table, Matt Baum. Thank you very much. Not
now
that kind of
3
bomb.
empty cells that we need to fill.
He's not a dirty bomb. He's a Matt Bomb. If you want to be part of this list and get your extra content that's only available to our Patreon members, go over to patreon.com/Technorama Podcast. If you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or somewhere else, the link is right there on the bottom of the screen. But again, if you're listening and you want to write it down, pull over on the highway, write this down, patreon.com/Technorama Podcast, and you will get that special content and mentioned every week or every podcast that we do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we will record for you right after this. Whew. Well, this is getting longer.
Take a breath.
Thank you, thank you. Media Corner? We do have one in the Media Corner. Yeah. Did you put that in at the last minute?
No, it's been there all day.
Okay,
Welcome to
what did you say?
Video. Hey, where can I find some good information about music and TV and videos and things? Over here, in the Media Corner.
That's never going away.
That's never going away.
Nope.
And I hear it everywhere else now, too.
I'm sure you do.
Funny.
It's hilarious.
In the Media Corner, we have any reaction to your San Diego Comic-Con stuff? Marvel, Star Trek, etc.
Oh, wow. Lots of exciting things came out this time. And today I got to watch it was a reel put out by EPK TV. They actually filmed the Marvel panel that Kevin Feige was hosting yesterday. And he did a big thing on Phase 4. And to say that I got excited was an understatement. Among other things, one thing that I'm really excited about is what they're going to be doing with the new Doctor Strange film. Doctor Strange 2 is Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Is that the title?
I like the title
That's the
begin
title.
with.
They're going to go horror.
The title's awesome. Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to go a little bit Cthulhu as well on that one. It sounds like it's going to be a rather Lovecraftian episode, or Lovecraftian movie. So I'm terribly excited about that one. But what I also thought was interesting is they announced that there's going to be 2 series that's going to be on the Disney Plus streaming service that are tied into the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of them is Loki. And it will actually address what happened to Loki after Endgame.
Wait a minute. I don't think, Chuck, you haven't seen Endgame yet, have you?
No, he died in
he died in Infinity
War. But so did a whole bunch of other people.
Yes. Well, Kevin Feige himself said, and a lot of people are wondering what happened after the whole Infinity War Endgame thing with Loki. Yep. This series will actually answer that.
Yep.
And
there's also going to be WandaVision, which will feature Scarlet Witch.
Hey, by the way,
and
the
Vision
logo for that looks like a television.
It does. It's like Buena Vista Vision or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cute. And that's also going to be tied into Doctor Strange because Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, will be in the second Doctor Strange film. So WandaVision at some point will actually find the Scarlet Witch on Doctor Strange's doorstep. So I thought Widow, that was interesting.
Eternal.
Oh, and Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson is in it.
Thor, Love and Thunder, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Wow.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier, Baron Zemo is coming back.
Down, are they?
No, 7 movies.
I was going to say, there's at least 7 here.
Yeah, 7 films.
No, some of those are the Disney Plus shows.
That's true. 2 of them at least are Disney Plus. Actually, I think there's 3 that are Disney Plus, and the others are going to be in the theaters.
Yeah,
and the other
people on Twitter were like, "Wow, 7 movies in 2021."
No, some of those,
not exactly.
But the fact that they're still tying into the MCU, I think, is what's going to be really exciting. And what I also think is interesting is the fourth Thor film.
Yes.
Will actually have Lady Thor.
Oh.
Right out of the comic book. And
Ben, maybe you can clear this up for me. But am I alone in thinking that Natalie Portman kind of distanced herself from Thor?
She did.
Okay,
and yet
did
she's
she not
coming
say
back.
Some things like I can't believe or not necessarily. That
she did kind of express some unhappiness with the way things were being done, but somehow I guess they addressed whatever grievances that she had because she will be coming back.
I know how they addressed it. One for you, one for you.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a hefty payday. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she is coming back as Jane Foster, and she will, just right out of the comic book, she will become Thor.
Yes.
So I think that is going to be extremely interesting. But yes, I'm very excited about I was really nervous. Like, well, how do you top Phase 3? How do you beat that? Well, after I saw the bits of the Marvel panel yesterday, okay, I think they can do it.
There's also Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, we actually did a story on that too. That looked really. We have the trailer on our website for that, and yeah, that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And Tom Cruise actually showed up in Hall H. We had a correspondent there in Hall H for that.
And creepy cats.
And creepy cats.
Oh gosh! Did you watch that? Did you watch the trailer?
The new trailer for Cats. Isn't that disturbing?
It's the first time
I've got nightmares.
First time I've ever heard the internet get angry at cats.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's so wrong.
Why didn't they put one of those cat people in Star Trek? You know, with like the animated, series. They should have put one on Discovery. They were weird. They were weird.
It was really
Westworld season 3.
Yes.
No,
they showed that. They also had a Terminator panel for Dark Fate, which a lot of people got very excited about.
Yes.
I got super excited about some of the things that they brought up about from DC, with the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes, that looks really interesting.
We're going to have 2 Supermen.
Yes, and one of them is Brandon Routh.
Yes.
He'll be, although he's not playing the same Superman that he did in the film. Yeah. It's a different Superman.
No, but he can fit it. I actually, Superman Returns, I enjoyed to a point. I know it didn't nail the landing, so to speak.
No, but it was okay.
I think he nailed it. He nailed the part.
He was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, but he actually showed the S design that he'll be wearing for that episode, and it's totally different. And someone identified that's actually from one other offshoot title.
Kingdom Come.
Yes, I believe there's a Kingdom Come. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that he'll be playing both Superman and Ray Palmer, I thought is going to be a lot of fun.
Now, here's the other fun part. Now, I kept getting more excited about this crossover. Is Burt Ward's going to be in it?
Mm-hmm. But we don't know as who.
Don't know as who.
They didn't announce it.
I'm fine with that. He's going to be what?
He's old enough to be Albert.
Maybe.
Anyway, he's going to show up and snap, and half of the DC universe is going to go away.
Oh, so he's Thanos now.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm down with that. I want to see how they use him. If he rolls out as Robin and he's older and heavier, that'd be kind of weird. But no, I want to see how they use him.
Yeah, it should be interesting. But it looked like there was some very good things that came out of San Diego Comic-Con this year. I really wish we could have been down there, but at least we had somebody who stayed the entire time in Hall H and got us some really good content for that.
Oh, your correspondent didn't stay the whole time?
Well, when they shut the hall.
Oh. I don't know how San Diego Comic-Cons work.
Oh, they're mad. Totally mad. I mean, the line is just bananas. I mean, people start lining up days before, I mean, the convention starts on a Thursday, but there's a panel in Hall H on a Saturday. There's already a line for Saturday.
I'm sure, yeah.
And
I can only imagine. I've heard stories, so yeah.
And the fact that she was able to be in the Hall H for both Friday and Saturday, I thought was very impressive.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
And Picard. Oh, by the way, we'll address some of this stuff on our Topic is Trek podcast, but the Picard teaser, I mean,
that looks so good.
I think we're all in agreement that we were all.
I was very nervous.
Geeking out over big time.
I was very nervous about it, but after I saw the trailer, I now feel very enthusiastic.
I'm super surprised that they kept all of the secrets that they had going into this, because, I mean, they leaked out some stuff, of course, but then we saw Brent Spiner.
Well, there were rumors of a lot of people who said, I'd be up for that if they asked me.
A lot of people came out and said, I would love to be in it, and I think the only person who got a confirmation was Jonathan Frakes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he's also going to be directing as well. Yeah. But I think there was a confirmation that he was also going to be playing number 1 at one point.
I didn't know of any confirmation of anybody being in the show other than the regular cast, and then Jonathan Frakes directing it.
Right, that's true.
Till the panel, then it was like, by the way,
that's right. I didn't hear any confirmation about anybody until the day of Comic-Con, and then we started hearing rumors about Jerry Ryan and Brent Spiner.
It's interesting how Comic-Con has become sort of the Super Bowl for launching your trailers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that really is.
I sat down at my computer Saturday afternoon, and I was like, oh, okay. that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Next thing you know, I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe what's going on.
Yeah,
the whole world's blowing up.
That's why I had to stop my notifications.
Well, and as for the Marvel information, what they gave us was just a snippet because they're holding on to the really meaty news for D23 that comes up later.
Yeah, like Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
Yes, Fantastic Four is in development.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but this is going to be the right Fantastic Four, not the rubbish Fantastic Four that we've been getting, for some time from 20th Century Fox.
That's right.
That's
I kind of like the first one, by the way. I like the first one all right.
The first one was fine. Second one was The third one was garbage.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't even seen it, and it's on various platforms now for free.
You need to see it just so you can break your television and then buy a new one.
You know,
if you're looking for an upgrade, that's the
what we do it. Yeah, if you want to upgrade your television, watch that last Fantastic Four film so you can break your telly and then buy a new one.
Honey, there's a sledgehammer.
Because I was watching it on my computer and totally tore it up. I will watch it because
it's horrible.
So I know what I'm talking about.
Wonderful cast, but it's horrible.
Nice segue. So if you want to get a new TV, you'd walk out and say, "Shut up and take my money," which you could use with your new credit card. Well, the headline is you can own a Futurama shut up and take your money credit card. You really can't, but there's never been a more perfect use of the meme than Futurama. Shut up and take your money, or shut up and take my money. Credit card template. Futurama debuted in, of course, 1999 and was the brainchild of Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons. The series follows the adventures of the hapless delivery boy Fry, who accidentally got frozen in 1999 and wakes up in the 31st century. This is naturally pretty shocking, but as soon as he lands a new job working for Planet Express ship, finds a new best friend in a drunken robot Bender and tries to romance his captain, Leela. Like The Simpsons before, Futurama featured great characters and comic writing. Sadly, it never enjoyed the rating success that Groening's other iconic animated series, leading to it being canceled in 2003. But the show has simply refused to die. First being
so I disagree with that first comment. Okay.
First being resurrected for a series of DVD movies, which were later chopped up to comprise the fifth season, or comprise. It might have compromised the fifth season. Before
who's chopping up words now, Chuck?
They moved to Comedy Central in 2008. The series has been revived for video games and a special one-off podcast episode dubbed Radiorama in 2017. I somehow missed that news.
What?
Well, Futurama is dormant now. It feels like it's just a matter of time before it's brought back again. The show also features some fantastic gags and one-liners, but one that has become a true fan favorite is Fry's "Shut up and take my money." Craig even marched in the Dragon Con parade with a stack of cash and telling people, "Shut up and take my money."
I did.
It's from season 6 episode Attack of the Killer App. This line has since become a meme and is typically used for the response to some exciting news like the announcement of a new movie or a piece of technology that makes people want to instantly part with their hard-earned cash. In 2014, the Futurama fan took the next logical step by creating a custom credit card designed with Fry waving a fistful of cash on it. A picture of his design with a banana for scale. So Reddit user HTH6565 revealed his design for the new personal Visa card, which is pretty much the perfect use of the gag. Sadly, most banks would be likely to reject such a custom design just on the copyright grounds alone. So any Futurama fans wondering if they can use this image too will have to do some research with their financial institutions first. There are some credit cards that actually will let you put a custom picture on them. You know, here's my wife, here's our Hawaiian vacation. But I have not seen one recently that will let you do customized designs. And would they let you get away with something like this? That would be interesting.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I would have done it myself if I had the option to put my own picture on there, or put a picture on there.
It's never dawned on me to do something like that.
I should have my own picture with cash on there.
From the parade. Shut up and take my money. Go one better. Do an IRL picture.
Oh, by the way, you missed the news about the one-off podcast because you muted the notifications on your phone.
That's right. That's how I get my job done and get paid. I don't get paid to be talking about podcasts all day.
I do my job and I get paid too.
I just do twice as much job.
Oh. Mine is bigger than yours now?
They have higher expectations for me.
You're just slamming your thing down on the table.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Now, both Ben and Craig have finished up Stranger Things season 3.
Yes.
Donna and I are only venturing into episode 5 at the moment.
So do you know what that means, Craig? We can't talk about
Spoilers.
Yeah, way to go, Chuck. You and Donna have one job.
You're missing your opportunity. Oh, you didn't tell us we were on a schedule. You're missing your opportunity to get a cutback. It's like if you want to hurt me back, throw the spoilers out.
I know. No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not that evil.
Well, go ahead, Ben. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I
spoiler free.
Okay. One thing that I did like is what we saw in season 1. There was just a lot of these little things that you'd see in the background that really kind of reminded you of what it was like in the 80s. Those little gadgets and games.
They're still doing that way into season 3.
They do, but season 3 puts more emphasis on the mall.
Oh, where did they get that set?
That's what I would love to know, because
it's perfect. Sam Goody is in there.
Yeah, we were commenting on that. Sam Goody, and there's one sequence you haven't gotten to it yet, but it's the movie theater, and you see the marquee, and all these films that came out in 1985.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this, I'm thinking, I kind of want to go back. I want a time machine so I can go back to that time. I mean, it was so nostalgic.
The one thing that I will nitpick on is the music. They've nailed it to the period, but every time you turn on the radio, it's not a 90. Even if you listen to a top 40 station, it's not always a song from that week.
No.
You're going to have something from 2 years ago, or I remember.
I was listening to the radio, listening to 1970s music just a little while ago.
So are we. It was like, a lot of
well,
stuff.
Yeah, in the 1980s, I was listening to album rock stations, so of course I was hearing things that were all over the board.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I know you want to put a timestamp on, say, this was 1985 when Corey Hart Had Never Surrender is the song they open up the first episode with.
I would argue if you say, okay, well, this takes place in 1985, well, then anything 1985 and older is fair game, right?
That's my take too.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it. Anything older than 1985 was fair. But at the same time, I thought the series looked spectacular.
Oh, it did.
It looked amazing, and the production values of that mall were just fantastic. And I'm right with you. Where do they find that?
They had to find the building and dress it out.
That's a mall in Georgia.
Is it?
Yes, because they had it's almost a defunct mall where most of the places are closed in it. And Netflix rented out the food court area. It's not area and dressed it up for the show. But I know this because I just read an article about how so many people were trying to go and visit the set or visit where they filmed it, but it's all been torn. All that stuff's been torn off, but the signs and stuff, because they were done filming in that area. But
it kind of makes me wonder if there would be some resurgence of that. Because there was some kind of renewed interest in a lot of the things that were introduced in season 1 of that series. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe, since the mall is really the heart of season 3, I kind of wonder if maybe Sam Goody wouldn't see some kind of, or someone wouldn't see an interest in trying to resurrect a Sam Goody. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have much of a shelf life because of the present market as it stands, but until
there's another pop culture-ish show that pops up and reinvigorates them all again in another 20 years.
Yeah, that was
I thought they nailed it
for me. Yes, they nailed it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just when the teaser for it, they started showing the thing about the Starcourt Mall. I was like, holy crap, this looks like any mall that I've walked into.
I said this looks like the Fox River Mall in Appleton. It was like the food court was the same food court.
It reminded me of a mall that I used to go to when I lived in Richmond, Virginia. It was so dead on. I was just amazed by it.
There must be some generic mall rules when you're an architect of that time. Yeah. I also like getting back to the acting and the writing and the way that they took on the young teen emotions and what they were going through when Will tore down his childhood Fort Byers or Castle Byers, what he called it, that he took a baseball bat. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. So they get into some of those things that we all felt at that age about the relationships that you have with your friends, and as you're growing older, the things you like to do as a kid, they don't work anymore, or not necessarily everyone at the same time outgrows them, and that can cause some friction as well. I like where they're taking the whole character story as well.
Mm-hmm. And the young man, I can't remember who he plays. He's one with the really curly hair.
Billy?
Is that Billy? No,
the lifeguard?
No, not the lifeguard. No. The one of the hero kids. He's got the real curly hair and the
Dustin.
bad teeth.
Dustin. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has really become a very strong actor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because what he starts to pull out later in the series that you haven't gotten to yet is pretty good.
They had I think it was in season 2. They had the after show where they were interviewing the actors, and they had sitting down doing a little panel and talking about the episode and what they did. Yeah, he impressed me. I think he was on the same show as the actress who plays Nancy, and I think everybody's doing a bang up job, because typically I don't really care for childhood actors.
These kids are good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've been exposed to too much Nickelodeon and Disney TV years ago, and it was just shouting at the camera. I felt like every episode was Dora the Explorer yelling at me, going, "What? Stop, please stop."
I read a review, or started reading a review, but to the point it got to spoilers before I watched the season, and I agree with the reviewer. He said, up to episode 3 it was okay, and then it really took off after that towards the end, and it did.
It does.
It was exciting.
The first 3 or 4 episodes, I feel like you're getting pieces, and they're not.
I think it's
really
around 5
tied together.
that it really starts to happen.
Yeah.
That's when.
Oh, and by the way, a side note: one of Harrison's friends was an extra in there, and so I think it was episode 7 when they're at the carnival. I was like, we found her, and I was like, oh, there she is. She's over there with a balloon on the side. But
she didn't die, get turned into a monster or anything.
Well, she said it was funny. You know how these things go. She's in several scenes, little side scenes. Hopper runs into her at one point, but they cut it out. It's not in there. Yeah. But she said Hopper ran into her one time, and he said he was very apologetic after they said cut. I'm sorry I had to do that. David Hopper.
I am gonna give one spoiler, since you already brought up the carnival.
Ooh.
And that is, there's a hall of mirrors, a dark, and I turned to Keith, and at one point I said, I cannot believe in that. And he looked at me and says, why? And I says, because there's not fingerprints all over it.
Well,
because I mean, the illusion was really well done, because I have been in those things, and I had no problem finding my way out, because
they're terrible.
Those mirrors and windows are so filthy.
Other than that detail, they did it well.
Yes, they did.
You're right. Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was very enjoyable. And now they've already started production on season 4.
Really?
Yes, I just read that today.
Like, they're done with the writing and they're into production?
I think, maybe pre-production, but they've already started something on season 4 already.
It's nice to see.
Probably trying to crank out a few seasons before the kids get too old. And Millie Bobby Brown is getting busy as an actress.
Yeah, she's really becoming quite popular. She's like the biggest moneymaker of the cast.
Well, she's going to be in something big coming up besides Stranger Things.
She was in Godzilla.
Yep.
No, there's something else coming up, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Anyway.
I'll
figure it out later.
So we invite you to. It's nice to see that they've been able to reinvest the money they made out of seasons 1 and into 2 and 2 into 3, because the effects are getting better. The sets are wonderful. We're not playing with a shack and Christmas lights anymore.
One thing that I thought was interesting is that the creators of the series, the Duffer Brothers, I think that's their name. Mm-hmm. They did not write every single episode of this series. They actually passed it out.
They're releasing
other
control.
People, they did write the finale.
Okay,
but other people wrote throughout the series.
They must pay attention to that. I saw their names several times, and I just didn't really pay attention every episode. So
I was looking at who was writing it, and it wasn't them a lot of the time. Not them, but they
still have to be like at the higher level of where the story's going.
Oh yes, I'm sure they're overseeing where everything is headed. And like I said, they did actually write the finale, and it was quite strong.
Good. I look for how many seasons? I mean, how many episodes in the season?
8.
8. Okay. So
and the last episode is like an hour and a half long.
Okay. Strap yourselves in, kids.
It's amazing. These are like mini movies, and then you get to that one, it's like, wow, it's even longer, you know. So yeah, they really nailed it. I think they did a great job.
All right. And Craig, speaking of the 80s, you have a friend who's opening up somewhat of a retro bar?
Yes. My old friend Mike, we were in school together for several years, obviously, but up through high school. Anyway, him and his friend Howard are opening up a barcade in town, and I didn't realize
Which is a combination of a bar and an arcade.
I've never heard of a barcade before.
It's like a bar and an arcade. So you pay $5 and you can play any of the machines. And he's got like 29 machines in there,
nice.
And everything from Galaga. I don't know if you're showing the pictures, but he said Galaga, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. He got 4 pinball machines.
I would love that here in Phoenix.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
I'd be spending a lot of my time there.
I'm starting to see the pictures now. But they spent a lot of money on these machines, and they're not. He's trying his best to get the machines, not that the ones that have like, there's Pac-Man that's sped up, some weird ROM. He wants the original arcade games in there. So there's Dig Dug, Millipede, Ninja Turtles. And then he's got Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man.
A lot of pinball games too.
He's a big pinball geek. Big
where
time.
Where do you put your drink while you're playing the games?
That's always been, I don't know. That's always been a problem.
You don't put it on the pinball game because
just at old pinball arcades. I mean, you had soft drinks. So yeah, where did you put it? I always put mine on the floor.
Yeah, you put it on the floor. Put your quarters on the board. And
well, you don't need to put quarters. Anyway, you said everything's paid for.
No. I mean, I'm talking about an arcade. But no, $5 you can play all the machines. It's going to be free play on all the machines. So yeah, it's a bar. So it's a 21 and up bar, just to kind of balance it out with
it'd be noisy.
Having to keep track of everyone.
Very noisy.
Really noisy.
Well, most bars are.
Well, but this is like, if you even want to try to have a conversation at the bar, forget it.
I guess this isn't the place where you're going to go to meet someone.
No.
So, do you like Dig Dug? What?
What's your sign?
I like Sound Almost Fire too. Anyway, he's got some really cool decorations he's going to put up. I'm going to go over there later this week. They're open. I think they're supposed to be doing a soft opening Saturday. If not, they're going to open the next week on Monday. But when they get all set up, they got to redo the floor. I'm going to go and take some really good pictures for them for their Facebook page, and I'll share them out.
We might want to run an article for that on TG Geeks as well, because we like to cover places that geeks might like to go to. So we might want to give that a push as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And then get someone else to spend their money in Phoenix to do it.
Yeah.
If we can inspire someone to do it elsewhere, I think that'd be fantastic.
There are a couple places in Charlotte that do something kind of similar. They got a bunch of games and then a bar kind of the situation. Yeah. So, but they're really trying to revitalize downtown. A lot of the focus from downtown Rock Hill has been pushed away to a couple areas in the city where there's a mall, and their focus kind of went out towards the mall area for a while. And they want to revitalize downtown and get some people. They got a whole new apartment complex downtown. I think that's pretty much filling up. So they're trying to get a lot of foot traffic and stuff, restaurants and stuff downtown.
Is the bar separate from the game room? Is it a game room, or are they all sort of mashed together in one general area?
You walk in, there's a bar area, and then you keep walking, and there's the games. They're all
okay. That's kind of what I thought. So if you were worried about the game noise interfering with the bar conversation,
well, there is also a patio area. So I don't know, there won't be any games outside. So you can walk out in the patio area and try. Right. Oh, and the local brewery is making him a special themed beer. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice. Do they have a name for it?
Not yet. I don't know it yet.
Oh, okay.
I asked. I don't know. Pixel? I don't know.
Please deposit 25 cents. It's called one credit.
My beer is named Game Over.
Oh, so sad.
I don't think I'd be drinking that one.
No, that's if you get dumped.
Start. Hey, player one start. I don't know. Oh, by the way, that's the name of it. Player One Up.
That's the name of the barcade?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Because
you couldn't call it Ready Player One.
No. Yeah, Chuck, whenever you come to town, or Ben, anybody, I'll take you over there.
All right.
I would love to.
Another excuse to get my butt over there after all these years.
I know. I've been to your house like 18 times. I'm sure Donna's getting tired of me coming out there.
She's nodding.
And laughing at the same time. Or is she crying? I can't tell.
I can't tell. Is she crying? Is she agreeing or disagreeing? I can't tell.
I think she's having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah. I'm excited for my
fetal position on the floor. Never mind.
Yeah. That's right.
No, that's what happens when you say when Craig's coming again. Oh God. No. All righty. That brings us to the end. We have one question for next week. What's the most powerful scene you've seen in a movie?
Ooh, I got to think about that one.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from in that one.
You know, I don't normally cry at a movie, really. I mean, even if I go, oh, that's really sad. But there's been a couple that really touched me, especially, I don't know. I'll share with it next week. But that's something I've thought about.
Okay.
You know, it's like really touching. But
yeah, I got to go into the Wayback Machine on some of these too, because I often take the recency factor. But
yeah, because that's the easy way.
Right. I'm gonna hold that off for now. We'll come back with that next week. And I'm often inspired by some of the things that people say on when I post this on social media. They go, "Oh, I hadn't thought of that." But that also reminds me of what?
I can tell you one right now that was kind of powerful. Emotionally, as a geek and growing up with all this stuff, seeing Captain America take Mjolnir.
Yes.
I was like, what? What am I seeing? We talked about that, Ben.
Yeah,
I freaked out.
Yes, we did. There was a number of scenes like that in Endgame that I remember you and I were just completely geeking out over.
Yes. Oh my God.
Recency factor.
Yes, but still worthy.
Yes, there are some, and what you got to remember what your emotion was at the time too, because the first time you saw Jaws, that might have been. You just say powerful scene. It's not necessarily shocking. It could be, very well executed scene. A powerful scene can be an actor really eliciting that emotion that the director was after. So
I'll tell you one. Luke Skywalker kicking off the lightsaber, and with Ben sitting there, I was like, "Whoa, what am I looking at here?"
The first one when he lights up in the Millennium Falcon?
No, when he sent Ben's little Adobe and they kick off.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
other one
and he
have this. And I was
almost
like, okay,
fires off the lightsaber into his eye.
This was your father's lightsaber.
Watch where you put that thing, kid.
It was used to kill lots of children, but never mind that.
No, as a kid watching him turn it on, I'm like, whoa, just got the neurons firing.
Alrighty, that's it for this time. Thank you, Ben.
My pleasure.
Where can people find you on the internet?
At tggeeks.com.
And he's usually with his other geek.
Yes, my other half, who's in D.C., probably in bed by now.
Could
we're
be.
At 0.5, we're 0.5 gay geek tonight.
Yes. What? No, just one gay geek.
Oh, I'm sorry, one. Well, I was thinking, never mind. That's right, two. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
The what is it? The gay bachelor geek? What does that make you tonight? I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Let's take it out of here. You can find us at our website over at chuckchat.com/Technorama. The show notes will be there. Videos, lots of comments, social media. Subscribe to the podcast if you want to get that automatically delivered to you for free. Reach us on the listener line, 707-530-2428. We'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, technorama@chuckchat.com. Patreon information's over there. Lots of stuff. What did you add recently? Oh, we are also found now on Spotify and Radio Public, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. And it's no longer iTunes. It's Apple Podcasts.
Well,
you can find us on the internet.
Not yet.
You can update your URL. Podcast.apple.com. It's pretty much the same URL.
Yeah.
It'll be Apple Podcasts come October.
Whether you like it or not. Until then, Craig, give him a binary high five.
101.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
See ya.
All right, the audio recording is down, and thank you very much for everybody who's joined us on YouTube and Facebook. We will talk to you real soon. Thank you very much to my wife for handling all the video management, the screenshots, the subtitles, all that good stuff. Rama. Thanks, dear. Bye. Nice closing screen.